If you're over 60 and you've noticed your legs getting weaker, you're not imagining it. What you're feeling could be the silent thief of strength, and it's already been at work for years. Part 1. Understanding sarcopenia, the silent thief of strength. I'll never forget the moment it hit me. I was watching my own father, once a proud Army veteran, struggle just to lift himself out of his favorite armchair. His hands gripped the sides. His arms shook, and when he finally stood, I saw the fear in his eyes, not of falling, but of knowing that something inside him was slipping away. That's when I knew we had to talk about sarcopenia. You see, sarcopenia isn't some rare medical term buried in a textbook. It's something real, something personal, and if you're over 50, chances are, it's already affecting you or someone you love. DNA. What is sarcopenia? Let me put it simply. Sarcopenia is the age-related loss of muscle mass, strength, and function. It creeps in quietly, without pain, without warning. Unlike a broken bone or a sore back, sarcopenia doesn't shout, it whispers. But the effects? They're life-changing. By the time we hit our 60s, we can lose up to a third of our total muscle mass if we don't intervene. That's like waking up one day and realizing you're operating with only 2/3 of the strength you once had. No wonder standing up feels harder. No wonder the stairs seem steeper. No wonder we hesitate before walking on uneven ground. Mantelpiece cloth. When does it begin? Here's the kicker. It doesn't start at 60 or 70. No, the process often starts in your 40s or 50s. Yes, you read that right. Even if you're eating well, even if you're walking every day. Why? Because muscle maintenance is a little like running a small business. When you're younger, the body runs a tight ship. But with time, if you don't actively invest, the operations begin to downsize. Now imagine you haven't just lost strength, you've lost balance, stability, and the very muscles that keep you upright and independent. That's sarcopenia. Warning: why most seniors miss the signs. The truth is, most people don't realize they're losing muscle until something bad happens, like a fall. Or they suddenly can't open a jar of peanut butter. Or they stop going out because walking tires them out too fast. Here are a few early red flags. Struggling to carry groceries, losing your balance more often, feeling slower or weaker during everyday tasks, clothes fitting looser in the arms and thighs. Seniors often blame these signs on just getting older. But no, this isn't just aging. This is muscle deterioration, and we can do something about it. Woman lifting weights, not just strength. Sarcopenia affects your whole life. Let's go beyond the obvious. Sarcopenia doesn't just mean weaker arms or slower legs. It changes the entire rhythm of your life. 1. You become less active. The weaker your muscles, the more you avoid movement. I'll skip the walk today. Becomes every day. That's a fast track to frailty. 2. Your metabolism slows down. Muscles burn calories, even at rest. With less muscle, your body starts storing more fat, even if you're not eating more. 3. Your bones weaken. Muscles and bones are lifelong dance partners. When muscles shrink, bones stop receiving the stimulation they need to stay strong. That's why sarcopenia and osteoporosis often go hand in hand. 4. You lose confidence. This one may surprise you, but I've seen it firsthand. When someone can't rely on their body, they start to lose trust in themselves. They go out less, they smile less, they feel smaller. Magnifying glass: the science behind the muscle loss. Now, let's peek inside the body. What actually causes sarcopenia? A few culprits are at play. 1. Hormonal changes. As we age, testosterone, estrogen, and growth hormone levels decline. These hormones are like the construction managers for muscle development. With fewer of them on site, your muscle building slows dramatically. 2. Inflammation. Chronic low-grade inflammation, something very common in seniors, interferes with the body's ability to build and repair muscle tissue. Conditions like diabetes, arthritis, or even just poor diet can quietly stoke this inflammation every day. 3. Mitochondrial decline. Your muscle cells are packed with tiny energy plants called mitochondria. As we age, they get less efficient. You feel it as fatigue. But behind the scenes, your muscles are getting less of the fuel they need to repair and grow. 4. Protein absorption issues. Even if you're eating enough protein, your body might not absorb it like it used to. The digestive system becomes less efficient, and key amino acids may not reach the muscles that need them. Brain, the emotional side. Sarcopenia and mental health. Here's something not enough doctors talk about. Losing muscle affects your mind. 2. Studies now show a strong link between muscle loss and cognitive decline. Why? Because movement fuels the brain. Physical strength promotes independence, autonomy, and a sense of purpose, all vital to emotional well-being. One of my patients, Mr. Howard, told me, "When I stopped gardening, I stopped feeling like myself." That stuck with me. His hands, once calloused from planting tomatoes and trimming roses, had become soft, idle, but more than his muscles. It was his spirit that had atrophied. Sarcopenia isn't just a physical condition. It's a quality of life condition. Light bulb, the good news. Muscle memory is real. Now, before you feel discouraged, let me tell you something that always surprises my patients. Muscle is incredibly responsive, even in your 70s, 80s, and 90s. You see, muscle cells don't forget. If you've ever been strong before, those blueprints are still in your body. With the right food and gentle movement, you can rebuild what you thought was lost forever. In one study I personally reviewed, 91% of participants over 70 regained meaningful muscle mass in just 6 weeks, not from lifting heavy weights, but from targeted nutrition. Just imagine what that means for you. Stop sign. Why? Just getting older isn't an excuse. I've heard it hundreds of times. Well, doc, I'm not 25 anymore. Of course not, but you're also not powerless. We can't stop time, but we can stop the decline that comes with inactivity and poor nutrition. We can build muscle at any age. And we must. Because independence is not just a gift, it's a right. Older person, the doctor's prescription. Awareness first. If you're watching this and nodding along, maybe recognizing the signs in yourself or a loved one, here's my heartfelt advice. Don't ignore the subtle changes. If walking gets harder, if you can't carry a bag like you used to, talk to someone. Ask your doctor about muscle loss. Don't wait for a fall. The best time to fight sarcopenia is before the first fall. The second best time? Right now. Don't believe the myth. Losing muscle isn't a punishment of age, it's a warning sign from your body. And it's one we can do something about. Seedling, what comes next? In the next part of this video, I'll share the exact foods and habits that help rebuild lost muscle, even if you haven't exercised in years. You'll discover a grain that delivers muscle-friendly energy all day, a protein source that works while you sleep, a nut that blocks the hormone that eats away at your muscle tissue. But before we get there, remember this: you are not too old, you are not too late, and you are not alone. Sarcopenia may be silent, but today, you're learning how to speak back. Part 2. The power of targeted nutrition, fueling strength after 60. Let me tell you something I've learned after nearly 4 decades in medicine. Food is not just fuel, it's information. Every bite you take sends a message to your body. It says, build, break down, inflame, or heal. And when it comes to sarcopenia, the slow erosion of muscle strength as we age, nutrition is the loudest voice in the room. The secret isn't more food, it's smarter food. Many of my patients think that muscle loss means they need to start eating more. But the truth is, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. Your body is like a retired builder who only accepts premium materials. If you give it cheap supplies, you'll get a wobbly structure. But if you give it the right materials, strong proteins, clean fats, anti-inflammatory nutrients, it starts rebuilding like it did in your youth. Let's walk through the top nutrients and superfoods that actually make a difference. One powerful ingredient at a time. But first, let me tell you about Marlene. Older person Marlene's story. I thought it was too late for me. Marlene was 76 when she came into my office. Arms crossed and eyes wary. She said, "Doctor, I think I'm falling apart. I used to garden every day. Now I can't even open the pickle jar." Her grip strength had plummeted. Her thighs were thinning, and she was falling asleep during her favorite TV shows. Not because she was bored, but because her body was underfueled. She didn't need a gym membership. She didn't need to run marathons. What she needed was targeted nutrition, foods chosen specifically to rebuild muscle, fight inflammation, and restore her internal power supply. 3 months later, she walked into my office with her arms full of cherry tomatoes from her garden. She smiled and said, "I'm back. Egg 1. Protein. the foundation block of muscle. Let's start with the most obvious and most often misunderstood: protein. When you're young, you can get away with lower protein intake because your body is naturally anabolic. It loves building things. But after 60, your body becomes stingy. It needs more protein and better protein just to maintain what you have, let alone build more. Most seniors I treat are under-eating protein by 30 to 50%. Cooking the best protein choices for seniors. Eggs, nature's perfect protein. Rich in leucine, the key amino acid for muscle synthesis. Greek yogurt, especially the plain, high protein type. It works overnight to feed your muscles while you sleep. Cottage cheese, slow digesting casein protein that's perfect as a bedtime snack. Salmon and sardines offer not only protein but omega-3 fatty acids that enhance muscle protein synthesis. Daily target: aim for 25 to 30 grams of protein per meal. Spread evenly across breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Speech balloon: one of my favorite tricks? A hard-boiled egg and a small bowl of Greek yogurt in the morning. No cooking required, and your muscles will thank you. Salt 2. Magnesium, the muscle relaxer. Magnesium is one of those minerals that hides in plain sight. It helps muscles contract and relax. It fights off cramps. It even improves sleep, which is when your body does most of its rebuilding. Leafy green: best magnesium-rich foods. Spinach, pumpkin seeds, almonds, avocados, dark chocolate, yes, in moderation. I once had a patient, Harold, who kept waking up at 3 a.m. with leg cramps. He blamed old age. Turns out he was magnesium deficient. 1 week after adding a handful of pumpkin seeds and spinach to his meals, the cramps stopped, and he started sleeping through the night. Avocado 3. Healthy fats, the hormone helpers. Muscle growth is heavily influenced by hormones. Testosterone, estrogen, and growth hormone all decline with age. But guess what? Healthy fats are the building blocks for these hormones. Peanuts: foods to focus on. Avocados, walnuts, olive oil. Fatty fish like mackerel and trout. Flax seeds and chia seeds. Avoid processed fats. Stay away from margarine and fried foods. Think Mediterranean, not drive-through. Speech balloon: fun fact: older adults who regularly eat omega-3 rich fish have better hand grip strength and walking speed. According to multiple studies. Blueberries 4. Antioxidants, the inflammation fighters. Sarcopenia often travels hand in hand with inflammation. Tiny amounts of invisible fire burning in your muscles every day. And what puts out that fire? Antioxidants. Think color. The deeper and richer the color of a food, the more antioxidants it contains. Blueberries: top choices. Blueberries, beets, turmeric, leafy greens, kale, arugula, collards, green tea. Let me tell you about Mrs. Ethel. Herb Ethel's story, the tea that saved my hands. Ethel was 82. She loved to knit, but her fingers were starting to stiffen. She feared she'd had to give it up. I suggested she try green tea with turmeric and a dash of black pepper every morning. It wasn't instant, but after 3 weeks, she told me something magical. "Doctor, I finished a whole scarf in one sitting. No pain, just peace." Antioxidants don't work like aspirin. They're not a pill. But over time, they change the environment inside your body. They create a place where muscle can grow, not break down. Beans 5. The unsung hero, fiber. Now you might wonder, what does fiber have to do with muscle? Plenty. Fiber keeps your gut healthy. And your gut health controls how well you absorb protein, vitamins, and minerals. A sluggish digestive system can rob your muscles of the fuel they need. Corn: high fiber options. Lentils and beans. Sweet potatoes. Oats. Apples, with the peel. Pears. Speech balloon tip: try steel-cut oats in the morning with a spoonful of peanut butter and half a sliced banana. Tasty, filling, powerful. Anti-clockwise arrows: timing matters. The anabolic window. Most seniors skip breakfast or eat toast and jam. That's a mistake. Your body is primed to build muscle right after waking up. The first meal of the day should contain 25 grams of protein, some healthy fat, a slow-digesting carb, water or green tea. Speech balloon example: 2 boiled eggs, half an avocado, a small bowl of oats with berries. That's a muscle-building breakfast. And don't forget bedtime nutrition. Your body repairs itself while you sleep. A small serving of Greek yogurt or cottage cheese before bed provides casein protein, a slow-release form that feeds your muscles all night long. Light bulb advanced tip. Pair protein with vitamin D. Vitamin D isn't just for bones. It helps your muscles contract properly and recover faster. Sadly, up to 70% of adults over 60 are low in vitamin D, especially if you stay indoors or live in colder climates. Sun foods with vitamin D. Egg yolks, fortified milk and cereals, salmon, sardines, mushrooms exposed to sunlight. Speech balloon bonus. Go for a 20-minute walk in the sun each morning if you can. Nature's best supplement. Test tube blood tests to ask your doctor about. To personalize your nutrition plan, I often suggest asking your doctor for a few simple labs. Vitamin D levels, magnesium, creatinine, muscle function indicator, CRP, inflammation, albumin, protein status. These numbers help you and your doctor adjust your diet for maximum impact. Brain final thought. Nutrition is memory, identity, and independence. When I think about nutrition, I don't just think about calories and carbs. I think about Frank, who cried the day he picked up his 2-year-old granddaughter again after rebuilding his strength with food. I think about Cynthia, who returned to her church choir after months of fatigue, and brought a basket of roasted sweet potatoes to share. And I think about you, yes, you, who might be sitting there wondering if it's too late to feel strong again. Let me be clear, it's never too late. Your muscles are waiting, your energy is waiting, and the food on your plate can be your medicine. Clapperboard sneak peek. What's next? In the next chapter of this video, we'll explore gentle exercises you can do from a chair to rebuild leg strength. Why balance training is more important than cardio after 65. The 3-minute morning routine that has helped hundreds of seniors regain stability. But for now, remember, food is not just something you eat, it's something that restores you. You have the power to nourish your body back to strength. Inflammation and recovery, your secret weapons. By a seasoned physician who's walked the journey with countless seniors like you. Let me begin this section with a confession. Back when I first started practicing medicine, I used to think inflammation was just something we had to deal with, like the price you pay for living a long, active life. A little swelling in the knee? That's just part of aging, I'd say, or so I thought. But over the years, after treating thousands of older adults and digging deep into the latest research, I've changed my mind. Inflammation isn't just a symptom of getting older, it's often the root of what's stealing your strength, your mobility, and even your joy. What I discovered is this: inflammation is both a silent enemy and a healing signal. And how we eat, rest, and move can either fuel the fire or calm the storm. So today, we're going to talk about the secret weapons hiding in your kitchen, your spice rack, and even your backyard garden. Foods and habits that not only fight inflammation but also supercharge your body's ability to heal and recover. What exactly is inflammation? Let's make this simple. Inflammation is your body's natural defense system. When you cut your finger or twist your ankle, inflammation rushes in to help you heal. It brings white blood cells to the rescue, kicks off the repair process, and gets things moving again. That's called acute inflammation, and it's actually a good thing. But chronic inflammation? That's the villain in the story. It hangs around long after the injury or illness is gone. It simmers beneath the surface, quietly damaging tissues, stiffening joints, clouding your memory, and even weakening your muscles. And here's the catch: many seniors don't even realize it's happening. Let me tell you about Mrs. Carol Hughes, one of my longtime patients from Nebraska. She was 74 when she came to see me with what she called old lady knees. She blamed her pain on decades of gardening, kneeling in church, and dancing at weddings. But when we ran a few simple tests, her markers of chronic inflammation were sky high. Her problem wasn't age, it was her diet. We didn't give her a miracle pill. We gave her a plan. And that plan started in her kitchen. The fire starters. Foods that fuel inflammation. Before we talk about the healing foods, we've got to talk about the harmful ones, the ones that pour gasoline on the fire. Here's a short list of common culprits. Processed meats, like bacon, sausage, and deli slices, sugary drinks, sodas, fruit punches, even so-called healthy smoothies. refined carbs, white bread, pastries, crackers, fried foods, excess alcohol, margarine and other trans fats. Now, I'm not saying you can never enjoy a treat. Life's too short to say no to birthday cake, but when these foods become part of your daily routine, you're unknowingly inviting inflammation into your life. Let me take you back to a story from my small town clinic in Iowa. Story time. Joe and his aching hips. Joe was 81, a retired mechanic with hands like sandpaper and a heart of gold. He'd been limping for months before his daughter finally convinced him to come in. He said, "Doc, I ain't been able to fix my old Ford, let alone bend down to tie my boots." Turns out, Joe was eating sausage and eggs every morning, followed by white toast with butter, and washing it down with sweet tea. Every day. For years, we didn't just treat his pain, we treated his plate. We swapped the sausage for avocado, the white bread for whole grain, and we taught him to fall in love with something he'd never tried before: turmeric tea with a dash of black pepper. Within 2 months, Joe called me and said, "Doc, I changed my breakfast, and now I can tinker with the truck again." That, my friends, is the power of anti-inflammatory nutrition. Your secret weapons. Anti-inflammatory foods that heal. Now let's flip the page and talk about what you should be eating, foods that fight back against the silent inflammation attacking your joints, muscles, and even your memory. 1. Fatty fish. Salmon, mackerel, sardines. These aren't just heart healthy. They're loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, natural inflammation fighters. I call these the cool-down oils for your body. If you can, aim for 2 servings a week. Don't like fish? A high-quality fish oil supplement might be your backup. 2. Leafy greens. Spinach, kale, Swiss chard. These greens are rich in antioxidants, magnesium, and vitamin K. They don't just reduce inflammation, they protect your bones and muscles. 2. One of my patients, Ruth, makes a green blend every morning with spinach, apple slices, and a bit of lemon juice. At 87, she swears it keeps her joints smooth like silk. 3. Berries. Blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, tiny but mighty. These are packed with polyphenols, plant compounds that fight inflammation and oxidative stress. Even just a handful a day can make a difference. 4. Turmeric. This golden spice contains curcumin, one of the most studied anti-inflammatory compounds in the world. Mix it with a pinch of black pepper to boost absorption. I recommend adding it to soups, teas, or golden milk, a comforting drink made with turmeric, warm milk, and cinnamon. 5. Ginger. Ginger works like a natural ibuprofen, whether you sip it in tea or grate it into your stir-fry. This root has been used for centuries to soothe pain and reduce swelling. But food alone isn't enough. The recovery equation. Let me tell you something I've seen time and time again. Healing isn't just about what you eat. It's also about how you live. 1. Sleep is your body's repair time. During deep sleep, your body releases growth hormones that rebuild muscle, repair tissue, and cool down inflammation. But poor sleep, especially less than 6 hours a night, keeps you in a state of chronic stress. Tip: try going to bed and waking up at the same time each day. Dim the lights an hour before bed. And turn off the TV, yes, even your favorite late-night show. 2. Gentle movement speeds up recovery. It may seem counterintuitive, but light exercise actually helps flush out inflammatory waste from your joints and muscles. Think walking, tai chi, swimming, or even slow dancing in your living room to Elvis. Every step you take tells your body, I'm still in the game. 3. Stress makes everything worse. Chronic stress raises cortisol levels, which fuels, you guessed it, inflammation. Try what worked for Dolores, a widow from Florida who took up watercolor painting in her 70s. She told me, painting calms my nerves better than pills ever did. Whether it's prayer, gardening, journaling, or spending time with grandkids, find your peace. Story time. The comeback of Helen the ballerina. Let me tell you about Helen. Helen was 76 when she came to me with arthritis so bad she couldn't lift her arms above her shoulders. I used to be a ballerina, Doc. Now I can't even open the peanut butter jar. We worked together for 4 months. She committed to an anti-inflammatory diet, took turmeric supplements, did gentle yoga twice a week, and cut out her afternoon glass of wine. Month by month, Her mobility came back, and one Sunday morning, she walked into my clinic, not for a checkup, but to show me a video. It was Helen, arms raised, spinning slowly in her backyard, with classical music playing. She cried, so did I. The doctor's checklist: 7 daily habits to beat inflammation. If you're wondering where to start, here's the simple plan I've given to hundreds of my senior patients. Eat 1 serving of berries each day. Add turmeric, with pepper, to a meal or tea. Have leafy greens at least 5 times a week. Sleep at least 7 hours each night. Walk 15 to 30 minutes daily. Avoid processed meats and fried foods. Do 1 relaxing activity per day. No perfection needed, just progress. Final thoughts. Aging doesn't have to mean aches and pains. You spent a lifetime building strength, caring for others, and overcoming challenges. Don't let inflammation steal your freedom in these precious years. You deserve to move freely, to wake up with energy, to dance in your kitchen without worrying if your knees will hold up. Inflammation may be part of life, but it doesn't have to run your life. So next time you're making breakfast, take a moment, add some blueberries, brew some ginger tea, smile knowing that these small choices are your secret weapons. Your body is always listening, and it's never too late to give it what it needs to heal. Conclusion. Take action today for a healthier tomorrow. As I sit here reflecting on all the valuable insights we've shared, I'm more convinced than ever that aging doesn't have to mean slowing down or suffering from constant aches and pains. You have the power to take charge of your health, starting with what you put on your plate and how you care for your body every day. The truth is, we all face challenges as we age, but with the right knowledge and simple changes to our daily routines, we can truly age gracefully. By understanding the role of inflammation, making the right food choices, and taking time to care for your mental and physical well-being, you can reclaim your strength and energy. It's never too late to start, and every small step you take today can lead to big rewards tomorrow. But I want to hear from you. What changes are you excited to make in your diet and lifestyle after learning about the power of anti-inflammatory foods? Have you already tried any of the strategies we discussed today? Drop your thoughts, questions, or stories in the comments below. I'd love to connect with you and hear about your experiences. And if you found value in this video, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. By subscribing, you'll be the first to know when we share more expert advice, practical tips, and heartwarming stories to help you live your best, healthiest life as you age. Together, we can make sure that every day counts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.